All right, back at it after taking care of the kids and chilling out for a bit. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is what here. All right, so first, let's make sure that we load all of the configuration onto the request, because otherwise what will happen is that I'll keep adding all of these things, and it will just become a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up a bit and refactor this code. And here's what I want to do, right? So if I'm going to index.js in my SRC, what you'll see is I have this system config and I have this route, right? And essentially what I want to do is load this configuration on the app itself, right? So let's go ahead and do that. But first, I want to clean up a little bit. So I want to exit this, and then let's see what I have here, because it's already starting to be kind of a mess, right? So let's see, app errors, and we have modules, and then we have keys, and then we have authorization, which is already kind of a bummer to me. And then we have health, and then we have index here, and inside of the system we have this configuration. Okay, so what I want to do, first things first, is refactor this a little bit and load the configuration onto the application itself, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So let's say that we have this. Let's go to system and then to index.js. And here I have this config, and then I have this app. But what I also want is to have the system config middleware. So let us do that, right? So okay, so then let's do that. Now I want to load the configuration onto the app itself. So let's see how we do that, okay? So I can do that in kind of an easy way, and I can do it in a harder way. And basically I can do this like this. So app.use, and then here I have a request, a response, and a next. And then here what I can do is request.config equals to config, right? And then this, at the basics of it, this is loading the config onto my app, right? So then let's do yarn run local, and if I do that before the basic auth and before the auth 0, so when I go to authorization, for example, then I can have here request.config.name. And then wherever I have the domain, so let's go to keys and loader. Here, so we can have request.config.auth0.domain, right? And then where I have the, I think it's called, where was it? Here. So then this will be request.config.auth0.client ID. And yeah, this should be this. And if I go and I try to load it with Postman, then something crashed. Why? Shouldn't crash. Let's see. Okay, something is hanging. Oh, of course. So then we can call next and return next, actually. Yeah, and now everything will work and validate it true. And if I just hit a simple token, then it will give me this blank one, which tells me that this is not validated, right? And then if I go back to the validated token, oh, sorry, not this, here, this one, the big one, and I send it and I get validated true. So I have the authorization and, well, I don't have the authorization, but I have the authentication running. So let's go here and see what we have. Okay, so this is the routes. And let's go to index.js. And once I'm here, so src and index.js, and I have the routes here, and then I have the configuration here. And what I can do is config middleware. Like so. And then this is system. What do I have in system? So in system, I only have this one, which gives me this. And then let's okay, so let's have this in config, and then here let's put this actually in app config, and then let's create src app config and index.js, and then export export. Well, I can take it from the routes, here, and then put this here, and then here, and put this and this here, and great. So then this will be config, and then this will be the config middleware, and then here src app config. All right, so let's save this. And do I get something? What happened? Oh, system got it. So config middleware and use. So app.use of undefined. Okay. So config middleware should already have the app. Oh, in routes. Oh, because this should return. Come on, how many times can I make this mistake? This should return the app. And now this will work, and when I hit send, everything should still work. Now, I have to say I have a problem here because my app is too divided. Hey, Hardbuzz, how are you? Welcome back. Sorry, Postman was hiding the chat window, so I was kind of blind for a few seconds there. Okay, so now I have the validated JWT token. I have to say though that something here doesn't feel natural. So in the modules, especially here, the keys and the authorization, I don't know, doesn't feel right. Routes is okay, and system is okay. I don't know, something in modules just doesn't sit right with me. And in the keys loader, I think this file is just doing too many things. And right now, I'm not sure I care. But it's just doing too many things. Now, let's go ahead and grab the user. So here, let's do here. So if error, and then this is here, and then here, we should have a request.jwt. Let's just print out the JWT. We should have the authenticated user here. So we have an email, and we have an audience. We have a sub, which is probably the user ID. We have an ISS. We have app metadata, which is pretty cool. And yeah, okay. So we have the user here. And let's start with so here's the thing. Again, I'm pretty open to, things like that because, it's Friday and, I'm kind of hacking around on this API gateway. So what would you like to see next? One is here. We can start working with the microservice for the user registration. Or, so this is basically option number one. And then option number two is create the logger, make use of the app logger instead of console.log. And number three is a little bit of refactoring. So what would you want to see here? I'm completely open to this. I have to say that for me, I think a combination of 2 and 3 feels better now. But I'm really open to kind of whatever you want to see. So this is Node. This part is Node, but this Node application is being called from this React application. So I have React, I have Node here, and if we go with number one here, which is calling the endpoint services, the endpoint services are written with Python. So we're going to have a Python as well. PyICloud? What's PyICloud? It's like, are you talking about the iCloud API with Python? Hardbuzz? Tell me you are, because if you are, you're basically like reading my mind. I don't know if you mean that or not, but if you are, then please tell me. Oh, this is crazy, dude. Look, you have to see something. I'm telling you, you have to see something. So look, open source here. And man, look at this. So iCloud photo downloader. Oh, you saw me fork it. Okay, okay. Okay, you saw me fork it because basically I was working with this, and you see I started downloading my photos from iCloud, and I downloaded all my photos from iCloud because I stopped using iCloud, and I started using Google Photos. And basically, this iCloud thing, this downloader, it downloaded the photos and everything was great. But the modified of the file was basically the today, or you know, the day that you downloaded the file, not the actual day that you took the picture or the actual day that you uploaded it to iCloud. So it's like so funny that you mention it because what I did, and I did this. So utime, and what I did is this basically add this function, and you can see this is the new to git, and I added this function of set utime, and it basically sets the utime on the file to the utime of when the picture was taken, which when you upload the photos to Google Photos, it gives you a better history. You know, it's like recreating, and you're not basically all the pictures that you took in the last 3 years are taken today, right? But I haven't really looked into a lot of it. I mean, this Python code is not up to my standards, but it's like so funny that you mentioned it. So yeah, it's like I worked on it. I worked on it today, off the stream. So as you can see, I'm contributing quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit of code, but every opportunity that I get to fix something in other people's code or to contribute back, then I basically take it. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. So, it's so funny that you mentioned it. It's crazy. Okay. So then here, so what would you want to see? Would you want to see which of these three options? Like start working with the microservice to use to register the user, create the logger, or like a little bit of refactoring. Because I really like, I really hate this thing. I don't know. I mean, this is okay. System is okay. Routes is okay. I mean, the routes are completely okay. Well, this isn't okay anymore. But the rest is I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, run local. So let's send this. I should get validated, and I do, and I have the public key. All right, so let's since I'm not hearing any opinions, then let's go with the logger. Um, all right, so what do we have here in the logger? So what do we need? I don't really need a whole lot. So let's do log. So in config, what do we have? So I think I have nodule logging. Let me see here. Um, So we have this log request and log request. Well, I don't need logly for this. I only want, so let's see src here. And then we have middleware. Here we have this default, and then Morgan.token. Logger is create logger, and then we have format. App.logger equals logger. And then we have create logger. Okay, so logger is coming from Winston. I see. Anyway, so let's import nodule logging because I like it. So yarn add nodule logging. And then let's go to system, src system and logging.js. And then here, what do we want to do? Right, so we have export default config. And then here we have this. And let me just copy this. And logly is false here. Okay. And then we are going to go to src index.js. And we are going to import system and logging. And system index.js. And then export and logging. Okay, so then here we're gonna add import create logger from nodule logging, and then here we're gonna create logger from config dot logging. No. Something is off. Okay. Do I have config here? I do. But nothing here is really using it. So Oh, I see. So here, sorry. So src index.js, and then here we're gonna do log requests. And we're gonna import this and log request we're gonna import with logging. And I think we want to pass the config like so. And let's run local and see what we broke. Oh, I see what we broke. We broke a comma. And I think, well, no, we broke something. Well, I broke something. Yeah, I mistyped. Log requests. And here I mistyped it. All right, so let's send, and we have value that is true. And now we can change all of the console.log to request.log.error. And then here we should see a choosing key as an error, but we don't. Cannot read property. Oh, is it request.logging? Let's see. Yes, no, it is. It doesn't. It's not. Okay, so let's see for log request. So request. Where is the middleware? So request.log. Oh, it's logger. Request dot. So no. I don't see it on the request. Oh, it's on the create logger, and request. I see it on the app, but not on the request. Index. I see create logger, middleware. So I see here that it's on the app.logger, but it's not on the request. So let's do that again. And here, what am I missing? What am I missing? So let's get rid of the config and then export export default this. Okay, so let's just export this object. And that should be good. And then here, let's log requests with logging. And let's send. I still see the same thing. What? Oh, this does not return the app. Well, that's not good. So here we should have a config. Let's see that. Okay, so let's go back here. And then we should have an app. Not good, not good. And then this, okay, so let's do that. Okay, so this is config. Just as an, well, let's say const logging config. Hey, Michelt. So login config. Okay, and here let's return the app. Enabled. And then here, I think this is not built to be a middle. No, it is. It is. Um, so here, what am I missing? Man, this is too late for this. Let's go back. Um, um, okay. So let's go back here. And if we go back here, okay, so this is in the loader. Okay, so this goes back to console.log, and then everything should be working once it's reloaded, and it does. I am a professional web developer, yes. And now what am I missing? Okay, so here we have this config. And then this config is coming from make config. And make config is coming from the nodule configuration. Okay, so this is just creating the configuration based on environment variables. And now we have a config middleware, which is app config here, which just puts the configuration on the requests. Okay, so we can actually document this. So this will load the configuration on to the request and make it available to all the next middlewares. And then ideally this should come first after loading the config using the config maker. And then we can ignore this. This is pretty obvious. But now, what's not obvious to me is how does the logging, well, not that it's obvious. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. So then here, let's go back to log requests with logging and config, and then in logging, let's go back here, and then let's do this, and something is broken, and then logly consumer token, yes. So what I want is to have this as logly is false. And then let's see if we have send, and everything works. Great. So now here in loader.js, instead of this, we can have request.app.logging.warning. Is it logging or logger? Well, let's try logger. Let's try logging. It might be logging, it might be logger. Let's see. So it's not logging, it might be logger. Logger.warning. Is it warn? Yes. Great. So now here we can have this as header alg, and I think it should be yellow also because it's a warning. Yeah, there it is. Level 1, choosing key, level 1, message is this. Awesome. And now here we can remove this, and now we have the logging. Okay, so we have the logging, so we can get rid of all the console.logs except the ones that come before that. And these are all debugging because I'm a console.log debugger, and this debugging, and this, I don't care about this. And here, I don't care about this. I already decided. I don't care about that either. And I don't care about that either. And I don't even care about that too. And I think that's it. Let's verify. Yes. Great. So if we go ahead and we run the app again and we send, everything should be up and running. Now let's go and see what is going on here. So here we have, this is flow right. So the first ones are these ones. So then system comes first because it's loading the config, and then the config middleware, and then well, the config middleware can come first actually, and then the log request, and then the route. So it's basically composing them from the right. So so it's actually not as seen here. This is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. All right, so then let's do send. Everything is working. Cool. Now I think, and I have a hunch, that I haven't committed anything in like ages. And if I do that and add, then yeah. So git diff and git diff dash dash stage. Yeah. well, okay. So then here and git commit dash m, and much work. I guess. I guess that's a real commit message to really what's been done here. So professional web developer. I hate that term, man. I hate that term. Well, not professional, web developer. It kind of reduces you to like HTML and fucking CSS. Okay, so now we have the logger, we have the authentication using auth0, and we have post requests, we have get requests, the API health returns regardless. So let's go to localhost 81 API health, and that should return with the name Plato. And actually, if I go to health, then this should have request.config.name, and then I can get rid of my to-do comment, but it doesn't, so I'm not sure why. And let's see. We have the config middleware. So config index.js. This is here, and then this is config middleware and config. So why is this not? So console log config. So why is this not happening in the routes? So I do see that. So why is it not loading? Return next, request.config equals config. Why is this not wrapping? So request. Oh, because I don't have a name on the config. Okay, so yes. So basically, so this is not wrong. This was okay. And this is the problem. So if I want name, then what I need is Plato underscore underscore name in order to have name. So source.env. And then node run local and then refresh. We should have health. We should have the Plato as the name. I think. Let me see. So I think I want. This is bad. Requiring this is bad. Requiring the name and then Plato underscore underscore name is bad. And I would love to fix that in nodule config. So I am thinking. Well, let's do that. Fuck it. Let's do that. All right. So open source. CD open source and CD nodule config. Do we have develop here or just master? GitHub.com globality corp nodule config. Let's go here, nodule config. So no, we only have master. So git pull origin master, and then here. So let's start fixing some things here. This is annoying. So then here, let's do uppercase something. This dot app name, and then here, this dot app name. Where is this dot app name? Oh, there it is. So process.env.this. And then here, here I want to do something. Okay, so here, I want to do that. Okay, so then const app name, no, const name equals to this dot app name, and then if not name, then return, and then here let's do return null, and then here let's do console.log env var name is missing. Please make sure you define it first. And then here, this is okay. And then we have this promise and we have this merge. And then here combined is the env object and then the secret. And what I want is to also incorporate the name to this dot app name. Okay. And then this will add the name to the config without requiring without the need to namespace it under the app name env var. All right, so then this one, and then git checkout dash b feature app name config change and then git add this, git diff, diff dash dash stage. Let's see what we have here. So const name, this dot app name, console.log, this is missing, if not name, and then combined, and then we have this name to this dot app name. Cool. Cool. So then here, and then, oh, this is actually only if it has secrets. If not, then yeah, I want to do that here too. So here, I want to do this. End of object, and then the name to this dot app name. And this is obviously wrong. And where else? What did I do wrong? So this and this. Okay, so this is good. And then so this. Okay, so everything is good here. So let's add that as well. Changes to the app name configuration. 1, fixing the bug where the module would explode if you did not define the name envar. 2, adding a final merge to have name on the config coming from the app name if you did not namespace it under the app name in the envar standard of name sum of app name name. So this is here, and this is here, and git push origin feature, and then here, and browse. Let's open a pull request for this. Here is a pull request, create, and let's wait for this to be merged. And once it's merged, then I'll release the module. And once I release the module, then this stupid hack of name and then Plato __ name will be gone. Aren't you happy you see that? Aren't you? Come on, be honest. Aren't you happy you saw that? Come on, open source is amazing, isn't it? All right, so then here, by the way, if you haven't starred this repo, please go ahead and do that now. Okay. So where was I? Nobody started. You guys. How many people are watching right now? How come I don't have like n number of stars as the n number of viewers that I have right now? Very disappointed. Okay, so let's go here. This one is here. This one is here. This is okay. Middleware is here. Nodule config middleware is here. Everything is great. All right. So then, did I add a console.log again? Am I talking to myself? Is anyone here? Am I even streaming? My God, I'm talking to myself. All right. Okay. No, I'm just trolling. I know. I know. Tum 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 tum. Okay, so where am I now? So so now what am I to do? I think let's go ahead and do that. All right. So let me go ahead and look at one of the services. So one of the services is called Chattanooga. Um, and Chattanooga is the service that's responsible, written in Python, and it's a service that's responsible for. Uh, don't have a Twitch. Oh, you mean a GitHub account? So Chattanooga is, let's go agent user controller. So in agent user controller, we have this create. And this create, so we have this auth user ID. All right, so let's go and do that. Let me show you something. So here, let's do tmux new session dash s Chattanooga. And then here, let's split this into two parts. And then work on here. And then pgctl, let's run the server. And then run server. And then let's actually, no, we don't really need that. Right, so then run server. And then here, let's go to localhost 5000, and inside 5000 we have API v1 Swagger, and we have the Swagger definition for the service. If we go to pet store Swagger, then we can go to look at this Swagger UI and then take our Swagger and explore it. And what you'll see is we have this post for an agent user. And this post, you have an avatar, you have a display name, you have an email, and you have this user ID, and you have this username. And if we, again, look at what we got from auth0, and where is this? Where is this? This is here. All right, so then if we go to the loader, and we take this, and then we have request.app.logger.info and JWT. Let's look at that again. So let's open this with Postman and send it. And something is off. Secret should be set. No, secret should not be set. What is going on? Hey Matt, how are you? Wait, XMatt Gaming became Matt Development, or is this not you? Is it just someone else? It might just be just a Matt. Oh, cool. Awesome. Okay. Oh, request JWT. Come on. Okay, so then here, this is here. And there it is. All right, so I have an email, and I have the email is verified, metadata. I have a sub, which is the user ID, and so on and so forth. No, but what I mean is I did not forget you. What I'm saying is you just changed your username. Right? It's like when I change my name, I don't expect people to remember me by my new name. All right, second floor. This is a standing type of concentration needed here. Okay. By the way, I really hate the 1920 over 1080 resolution. I really, really, really dislike it. Um, but I suffer for my I suffer for my audience. Okay, so what I basically want is to call Chattanooga whenever there is a new login and call create. Okay. Now, the way that this will work is that this, right? So all downstream services will not be available to the world. They will only be available to the API gateway and separated by a network firewall. This means you can keep all services non-auth and only auth in the gateway. Now, what I want is this, right? So when I authenticate a request on the API gateway, I want to call Chattanooga with the user post for an agent user and return the user ID to the client. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So let's think about architecture here. Well, I don't know if I would call it architecture, but something. How do we load all of the services? So first, we have our support for nodule config, right? So we can have Plato services and then Chattanooga and then base URL. And then for localhost, this will be localhost 5000. Okay. Now, if I go here, then I create a new directory, app, and then services. And then here, inside src app services, I create an index.js. And I export default for this. And I export Chattanooga. Right? And actually what I want is to export no. So here's what I want. So I want to import Chattanooga from Chattanooga. And then this will be here. Now, what I want is to share some of the things. And now how do what is the best way for me to do this? I'm thinking about like the code separation and how can I inject this with testing and things like that. I'm not sure I'm like communicating the problems I deal with right now, but yeah. So here's what I need, right? So I will need the config for from the request. That is required for the base URL for Axios. And now, why would I... I'm messing this up. Get Meppy. What do you need? What do you need? Let's take a break and help you. What do you need? Ah, damn it! Twitch is loading just now. I'm trying to be, I'm guessing, a web developer, and I'm struggling with PHP. Well, I mean, struggling with PHP is too generic. Everybody is struggling with something. Let's see. This code is blinding. My form doesn't send an email after filling it out. Well, doesn't send an email. It could be many things. Oh, man. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So yeah, you're using this like dash at mail, right? And I'm guessing that this is a like a function of PHP. Musty solution. So first of all, what I would really recommend is to not do that at all. I would create form spree, and form spree will give you like your own just action, and then once you have your action, it will just really just send you this email. So I wouldn't even worry about this PHP thing. I would just use form spree. The reason, I mean, I'm not even looking at this PHP code. I mean, not because I have anything against PHP or anything like that. Who contributed to Sebastian? Is it Facebook? What do you mean who contributed to Sebastian? Dude, I'm like, I have no idea what you mean, Hardbuzz. So I would just use this form speed because what happens is that GoDaddy is likely blocking this, or it's getting to spam, or like something on the way. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't even deal with it. Sending emails from servers is a huge pain in the ass. So just use form spree, and you'll get this like action, and it's free, and you just like create this. You know, it's really simple, and you'll get an email in literally like a minute. And it's free. So 1,000 submissions per email each month. So I don't think you're gonna get to that. And yeah, just have fun. And good luck, man. You're entering a pretty a pretty uh, crowded space. So good luck. Anyway, hope that helped. And hard buzz, I still have no idea what you mean. But I think that's it for me for today. And I am going to see you all probably on Monday. So peace out. And again, if you enjoy the content, please join the Discord or follow. And yeah, if you follow or join the Discord, then you'll get alerts about when I'm online and what I'm doing and whatnot. So yeah, peace. Good night. Have a